here with the first ever episode of Basketball Culture. I'm Ebony.
I'm Tyler, and today we got a guest here with us. If you want to just introduce yourself real quick.
My name is, about to sneeze, Ziggy. Yeah, brother and sisters out here. First episode, what an honor.
Yeah, of course, we had to get someone close to us for the first episode. And because I'm close to you, I know that, you kind of think you're a basketball genius and all this, so...
Basketball genius?
Yeah. We're all competitive, we're all competitive. So just start you off with a little quick NBA quiz,
All right.
Start with some couple easy questions and then kind of go a little bit harder, see how well you really know your stuff.
All right.
So for the first question, start off easy. Who's the all-time leading scorer in the NBA?
All-time leading scorer?
Yeah.
It's not MJ.
Might be.
LeBron James.
Okay. That's a little freebie.
Who's the leading father-son duo?
Mate.
Is that one of your questions?
No, we ain't including Bronny. We don't
talk about
until he does something, then we can start mentioning him. But go to the second question. Which team has the most NBA championships of all time?
Celtics. These are too relevant, sir. But you're gonna come with some harder questions, I know.
Maybe. Okay. I think doing some recent ones, so maybe do a throwback. Who invented basketball? Who's credited as inventing
basketball?
Yeah. Or founding, if you want to say.
Wouldn't have no clue. Who even knows that? You know?
I know that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, the person? The actual person?
Yeah, I know the story and
Fred
the person.
Catterson.
Who is that?
I was trying to make up like an old school name.
The answer was James Naismith. Yep.
You know it because you researched it.
No, I know it because I know it. I know ball.
I learned it in school. I don't know why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's some Canadian Donny or something. But
Oh, yeah?
And since we're in Australia, get an Australian question going. Who's the highest drafted player from Australia to the NBA?
There's a couple.
Is it?
Yeah. Andrew Bogut and Ben Simmons. There's planes flying past. You press the sound effect. That's because, I fly to the answer. But we have to do it again.
I got during that question, but it's all right. Yeah, keep it.
Did you know that? You acted like surprised when I said there's two. No?
I'm not gonna lie. Loki forgot about my boy Ben Simmons, but
No way.
listen, he's been out.
That's a recent one.
He's been out for like 4 years. So what am I supposed to do? Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I missed anyone else, but nah, I don't think so. But yeah.
And as a last kind of question, just gonna throw some nicknames at you, and if you can just tell me who the player is. Yeah. So we're gonna start with the truth. It's an easy one.
The truth.
Hopefully.
Who's the truth? Paul Pierce?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go to the big ticket.
Kevin Garnett.
Yep. And then we'll finish it off with Black Cat.
Black Cat.
Kind of a lesser known player.
Black Cat. You're playing games. Why are you smiling like that?
What do you mean?
Black Cat? Black Mamba. We know Black Mamba.
Black Cat.
Black Cat.
Cat Williams because he's black. Nah. I don't know.
Correct answer is actually Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yep.
One of the GOATs has many nicknames.
Oh, yeah. Who's the answer?
Allen Iverson. Okay.
Alright. Who's a shooter?
Shooter?
Yeah.
Me.
That's not no nickname, Shooter. Bro's going to tell me some
Ja
Australian
Morant.
player. All right, bro.
Oh my god.
All right, bro. If you say so.
All right. Well, pretty good. I think we missed one question. I don't know if you'll get this one. What is the longest winning streak in the NBA?
Winning streak?
Yeah.
It's got to be Golden State, right?
With?
I don't know the number.
Wrong.
I know they did at their home. They have the home record.
Wrong.
They they went a whole season almost without losing at home. It was crazy.
It was actually the Lakers.
The Lakers,
With 33.
50 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
1974.
All right.
Literally 50 years ago.
yeah. That's when Foot Locker was made.
Really?
Yeah, 1974.
Damn, Unc.
Home of sneakers.
I didn't know that. Start off pretty good, you know. As the weeks go by, questions have to get a little bit harder, but just to test the waters with it.
All right, first one done. Now we'll get into it. So, you know, as the podcast is called Basketball Culture, we were wondering, what does basketball culture mean to you? What would your definition be of that?
I think it's broad. Like basketball culture there's levels to it. There's levels of like from fashion to playing casually to playing like, you know, seriously, and then even just not even just playing, even watching casually or watching seriously as well. So it's very broad, but basketball culture is basically anything that the sport of basketball influences, even down to music. You know, you hear about rappers mentioning artists, and even a lot of people courtside from movie stars and things like that, courtside. All of this adds to basketball culture. Spike Lee, you know, he's embedded in basketball culture. And then now it's even expanding globally so much more. Like you're starting to see in Europe, the Euro League, and, you know, you go there and the games, like the crowd is chanting the whole game and things like that. So basketball culture is expanding too. So I think, yeah, it's very broad. There's a lot that can go to it, but basically whatever basketball influences, from the sneakers we wear to how we dress to how we play the game or how we watch the game and how we enjoy the game. So, yeah.
I like that. And for the viewers at home, that's kind of what we're trying to do here. That basketball culture, you know, we want to get all those aspects, you know, the fashion, the music, not just players, not just coaches, everything. So I asked you to bring a jersey, or I think you brought multiple maybe, an item that's special to you and obviously is related to basketball. Can you show us what you brought and tell us what do they mean to you?
Yeah, so I'll just pull them out the bag. I don't know which order they're going to come. But yeah, let's see what happens. So here we go.
I've seen that a lot.
Okay. Sydney Kings.
The Sydney Kings. So that's the team I go for and I work with, actually, DJing. This is a vintage jersey. Simmons. So, yeah. I think what it represents for me is Simmons being Ben Simmons' dad, Dave Simmons. And he used to play for the Kings. And what he's... basically the journey that he's taken as fatherhood and to get his son to the NBA and to be drafted number 1 and to be stealing, you know, millions of dollars from I'm playing, but yeah, like, I mean, he got a lot of injuries and stuff too, but now he's healthy, hopefully, so we can see him bounce back. But yeah, I think that's what this jersey means to me when I wear it, and people don't even know that's why I'm wearing it. But I think it's dope to see someone's dad from the NBL raise their son to make the NBA. If anything, he would have wanted to be in the NBA, but he was able to pass that on to his dad, onto his son. And I don't know if he even went to the NBA. Maybe he played there a bit, but yeah. So that's that one. Any questions about that?
No questions.
The next one, the Sixers.
Okay.
This is a Philadelphia 76ers vintage jersey again. Bolden. So my boy Jonah Bolden used to play for the 76ers. Also the vintage, I love the vintage. Like, it reminds me of when I used to watch AI and him. I watched him closely very much, but it was a proud moment to see Jonah in the NBA playing for this Philly. And they were a really good team too. Like, they were actually championship quality team. Went down to a shot that bounced like this, which is crazy. And then after that, kind of the team kind of derailed a little bit, but you know, up until that point, man, that was a solid team, and he was a big part of that. You know, he wasn't a main player, but he was off the bench and was definitely part of the team and the whole squad and all that too. So, yeah, I remember probably meeting him. He used to play with Jordan, our brother, in the same team in Bankstown. I think he would have been maybe 9 and Jordan was like 12, but he was taller than everyone still. So. And he's still playing today. We're still supporting him. Plays for the Breakers today. Used to play for the Kings last year. So, yeah. Any questions on that?
Nice.
Just a thing about when you said he was a big contributor to them. you say he didn't play much minutes, and that also kind of ties into the basketball culture. You don't have to be like the number one guy always.
Yeah.
Like you can be around the culture. You're supporting your team. Be a good teammate. You know, effort guy.
Yeah, you can bring energy to the team, even if you're not even minutes. You know, like look at Haslam. You know what I mean? Like the full vet. You know, who's there on the team, and then he's there to bring a voice and things. But you know, even training. You know, the number one guy's got to train against someone. You know what I mean? So like you can help them get better in that sense. And yeah, at the end of the day, you still got to earn your spot, and you want to earn your right to be there. But you know, you don't have to be the main guy, like you said. So yeah.
Got any more for us?
Yeah, I got one more jersey. So this one, this has got to be. I might be biased, but this has got to be like one of the greatest jerseys I've seen made. It's AM1. It's a Ghana jersey. But look at the detail on this jersey. Like, this is a real jersey. This is a crazy jersey. From the kente down to the layers. If you feel it, look how heavy that is. That's like a... It's not a plain jersey. It's like a full quality, man. Like,
I think there's a photo of me in this.
Yeah. Back in
As
the
a
day.
kid, stuff on the floor.
So being Ghanaian, that was one thing. And1 is what I grew up on. That's what got me into basketball. Like the And1 street ball, hot sauce. And that's when I probably bought it around that time. But this one now, like looking to go global. I don't know what playing wise happened. Maybe they had a team, or maybe they took And1 there sometime. But whoever designed this jersey, crazy. But yeah, I love this jersey. It's just too big. That's the issue. I got an XL one and a 2XL, and even the XL one's huge. Like, this is back in the days, like when baggy was cool.
Yeah,
but
baggy
it's too
was
baggy.
style.
Like, it's not even too baggy. I literally wore it one time, like a few years ago, and someone said, "Why are you wearing a dress?" But yeah, if I could, I'd wear that all the time if it was the right size. So maybe it's there to last. So yeah,
It's kind of cool to see the differences as well. Like back then, the style was like baggy clothes. Even on draft day, all the baggy suits and stuff. And now it's
big
like
pants. Yeah.
now it's like everyone's trying to make their shorts as short as possible. The NBA players rolling them up. It's like just how it changes through the times.
100%. That's the fashion changes. So yeah, that's the jerseys, and then trophy. Got a trophy too.
Yeah, you brought an item for us. Show us your item.
Yeah. So this is one of the first trophies that I received. At least one of the first trophies that meant something. Yeah, if you want to read it out, let them know.
Condor Park Public School Sport Champion, 2001, Daniel Annor.
Give my government
Give it
name.
a go, yeah. No, you gotta respect. You gotta respect. Okay.
Well, yeah. So I think from my memory of this is obviously in primary school. Would have been year 6, and my memory was that I believe they created this award for me and a female. I think her name was Kimberly. But we basically we played every sport, like, and we were good at every sport in school. So it was like from grass hockey to basketball, soccer, cricket, athletics. I think swimming, I wasn't really too good at swimming, so that was one that I wasn't a champion at. But yeah, I think they felt like they needed to reward us with something just because of what we were doing there. And yeah, that just came down to that. So it was an individual award that was created and kind of earned, you know what I mean? So it felt good in that sense. And I literally asked my mum, is there any trophies, like a week ago, for a Full Locker thing that I was doing, and she got me this, and then it reminded me of, oh, okay, that's what it is. So yeah, shout out mum for keeping this trophy. There was only 2 trophies.
Damn.
I'm sure there was a lot more trophies,
yeah.
but at least this one is a proper trophy. A lot of the other trophies are like, you know, whenever you play soccer, you get a trophy. And like things like that. We won a couple grand finals though, but yeah, even though there's still team effort in that, this is like an individual one that I earned. So yeah,
That's nice.
All those blue ribbons and the red ones from the school
my
carnivals.
100%.
Like, growing up was not, I don't know. For those who don't know, we're all related. We're all siblings. You know, there used to be not like a cabinet, but like, I guess it was a cabinet with
heaps of trophies.
his and Jordan's trophies, just all these trophies from high school, from primary school, ribbons. And I'm like, I need to be like amazing. Like, I need to beat these guys. So, you know, growing up was, you know, we're all very competitive too, like crazy competitive.
Yeah.
You do not want to play board games with us, I'll say that much. So yeah, I like that. Condell Park, 2001.
Yeah.
We all went to that school, except for Jesse. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
But yeah, that was crazy to see and just reflect on. But yeah, so I've always had. I didn't in primary school is where I started playing sport, but when I was like 10 onwards is when I started going harder into sports. So yeah.
Well, going into that, we wanted to get a bit into your backstory. You know, how'd you get to where you are today to be successful? You know, what was your childhood like? However much you feel comfortable sharing. You know, what'd you go through? Or with sport, like when did you start playing? Why did you start playing? How many sports did you play?
Yeah.
And how'd you end up, just going with basketball?
Yeah, I guess background. I guess to where we're at now is like, you know, I DJ. I work with artists and manage artists and DJs as well. Run events, do some marketing. We run a studio and things like that. But when I'm DJing now, it's cool because now I'm DJing in the sports world of like the Sydney Kings, for instance, and the Wanderers, and even hosting kind of basketball games, emceeing and things like that as well. So it's cool kind of how my journey as a kid growing up, like sport was everything. And then when I was 16 and onwards, I started hanging out with like my cousins and different things. And I got into music and things outside of that. And then became a DJ, so then that was the journey. And then now it's dope that it's kind of come back to blending the two together, which is pretty crazy. And it's in a time where a lot of the sport culture has been around for so long, right? So the basketball leagues, the soccer leagues, and they're now at a point where they want to rejuvenate things and bring the new energy in. So that's where like a hip-hop DJ like myself is able to fit in and bring that energy, you know, like they always got the older crowds and the families, but it's like, how do they get that kind of middle generation and stuff is also what they're thinking of now. But yeah, the journey pretty much is growing up. Like sport was just what we loved. Like, you know, we'd love PWSA every Friday. Coming home from school, we'd go outside and just play footy or soccer or anything with all the neighbors. So yeah, sport was just always something that we loved doing and we were good at, and it was enjoyable. So yeah, that's kind of just like it's always been ingrained, you know. So, and even watching sport, like I used to watch cricket, I used to watch all these things like rugby league. Basketball wasn't as much watching until like I think I was, what age was I? Maybe 14 or 16, somewhere around there. Jordan, like he got into it first. My brother got into it first, and then I don't know if he's the one that he just loved basketball, and then being around what he was into, I started to catch on to N1, and that's what really brought me in, like hot sauce, like his moves, his swag, the way he dressed and stuff like that. So it was at a point in my life where I'm like, man, don't worry about rugby league or this and that. Like basketball's cool. Like let me get into that. So, and then yeah, when played it, like was pretty good at it. You know, especially at school. Like the ring was a bit low, just dunking on people and all that. So, like if anyone at school knows, like if they went to school and I was there, like you just remember at lunchtime, probably me just there, like, you know, creating a ruckus, you know. But I was a quiet kid, so that's kind of where I let things out, was just playing sport, you know. So yeah.
Also, I know we referenced multiple times we're all siblings. So I know for me growing up, and Ebony can probably relate, like we kind of looked up to you and Jordan. Like we always had you guys as support, like to help us with sport, whatever. So you being the eldest child, I just want to know, like, who was kind of like your support? Like, did you do it yourself? Like, what motivated you really to become successful and how you are today?
So you say that is in just like career-wise, or you want to relate it to
like
sport
in sports, in career?
Yeah, I mean, basketball-wise, there wasn't direct influence, I don't think. Apart from, like I said, like Jordan helped pull me into it, but then it was just the people that we get around because of that, like because of the connected interests, you know what I mean? So yeah. I started to meet people. I remember the N1 tour, they came to Australia not long after we got into it like that, and they came. They sold out the arena. They did their thing. And then I met a couple people there. One of my boys, E-Man from Bankstown. I remember meeting him there, and like we literally, I was with him the other day. So it's like how far that comes, you know. And yeah, just Allen Iverson, like looking up to him and his crossovers and how he brought the street culture into the NBA. You know, that's what he's known for. You know, like kind of going against the grain and doing that. And same kind of how they saw Michael Jordan. You know. It used to be all short shorts, you know, and then he kind of came out and started wearing baggy and changing the shoes and breaking the rules even with the shoes, you know what I mean? So, so those things kind of influenced me in terms of basketball and stuff like that. At that point, I didn't watch much basketball though. It's not on TV, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have Foxtel. NBL, I never really went to a game back then. It wasn't until I was like maybe around 20 or so, like when we were out and about, we started going to Sydney Kings games. But yeah, that was kind of the influence there. And then just career-wise, it'd be just other DJs inspired me. So Clinton Sparks, Charlie Sloth. It was always about building a platform that you could showcase other talent. That was kind of what drove me. Like I was always around so many people that were doing dope things, so I wanted to find ways to help lift them. And like that's basically what you do as a DJ. Unless you make your own music, you're literally putting other people's music out there. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I think like all of our family and like even definitely friends and everyone that knows you, like you're always working, you're always like determined, you're driven. What's like that driving force? Like, do you think that's just how you are, like as a person? Do you think there was something that you went through, like that made you be like, nah, I'm gonna like work hard? Because like even when I was younger, I just remember, I mean, as a kid, I don't know how much of this is like just my imagination or real, but I like remember you just like working on your laptop, like on music, just doing stuff and sleeping. That's it, just working and sleeping,
literally.
working and sleeping. So
room,
it's like, yeah,
the
like
room with all the Ribena.
yeah,
so much just-
the lifetime supply.
I thought this guy was just constantly buying it. Only till recently I found out he won a competition for a
Yeah,
lifetime
I
supply.
don't even know how I won that competition. But I won. Was it a lifetime or a year?
Oh,
I
a
think
A
it's
year,
year,
like-
a
supply.
year. I think it was
They
a
sent
year.
like maybe like 4 cases or something, or like 6 cases of Ribena. But what inspired me? Nah, like I think that was just a passion to really like go in on the music stuff. I'm about to sneeze. Oh my gosh.
Bless you,
That was
bless
from
you.
the start, man. I held it in. Yeah. I'm gonna catch my thought. Yeah, just a passion to do the DJing thing, really. And that's what I would have been working on back then, was mixes and mixtapes. You know what I mean? And like I said, being inspired by guys like Charlie Sloth and you know, and what they do, and they're non-stop too. And these guys, that's literally what they do. They're non-stop even to today. Like you listen to some of their audio books and what they're doing even now today, and they're just still on it. You know what I mean? And then flowing into like our dad passing away as well. I think that kind of like really put like was like yo, like being the eldest, and it's like, you know, now we gotta go do something, gotta make something, like be able to help and support, you know, when you guys want to do something, or be able to be there for you guys. So I think that was really when I started going harder. You know what I mean? At first it was like, to be honest, like DJing is not the hardest thing. You know what I mean? Like building a name obviously is not easy, but anyone can really go and DJ. And if you build the right network, you can play at the right places and stuff. So it was always, how can we do more and be better than just a regular DJ? And that's kind of what we strive to do. And then, you know, when Dad passed, it was like, all right, how can we take it to another level? As that happened, you know, the Australian hip-hop scene was really growing and expanding, and the guys I was working with were growing and expanding. So I essentially just kind of found ways to grow with them and even help them grow. And that's kind of what brought me to where I'm at now. And just like a lot of what I do is based on helping other people rise as well. So I think that's what helps me get respect as well, and be able to build a good reputation and network and stuff as well. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think nowadays, a lot of the youth are lazy, unmotivated. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's social media or everything's just there for you.
The
But
people, our brains are designed in a certain way. So now that we've got this new technology and new ways of living, I feel like we're still trying to adapt. And it's happened so quick. Like the last 20 years, the way that technology has advanced is wild. Like you couldn't imagine like 20 years ago. All right, people can make fake AI videos of someone talking and doing this and that. You know what I mean? Or even just the fact we all have computers in our pocket. You know what I mean? Like before, we used to have to go on the computer and then it would dial up just to connect to internet. Have to dial up and then. But now we literally open our phone. That's a computer. You've got all these apps. You can do everything that we could have done 20 years on a computer. It's crazy. So, yeah, I feel like, a lot of the kids got to learn new things and how to get hungry. But in Australia, we're different too. It's like we're in a comfortable country to an extent, like the way that everything's designed to you. So, yeah.
I agree with that. Well, or do you have something you want to say?
Yeah, just we talked a lot about the music side of things and the DJ, and
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, when you were a kid, did you ever like have dreams of making NBA? I know most players that play basketball, they want to make NBA, they want to make it big.
Yeah.
So was that also kind of? Do you have the same experience? You want to make NBA?
I think that was my issue with basketball. Was I was good at it, but I didn't have that goal. So I think I didn't go like 150% at it because of that. I was more playing it because I enjoyed it, and like I just loved playing it. So I didn't. So don't get me wrong, I was still putting in extra work and it wasn't a regular like we'll go to 6 a.m. trainings and do all that. But I don't think it was on a clear goal that I wanted to get to here. And these are the steps that I got to do. And when I think back on it, I feel like I wish I kind of had that because who knows what I could have done with it. Like for me personally, like defense was like I was like one of the best defenders, like literally in all the rep games, it's like they'll put me on the best scorer. And literally all those games, like they'll score like 2 points or 4 points. A player that would usually score 20 points, And I get so mad because half the time that other point is like off a fast break when I wasn't even marking them. So I always like, and I look at it, I'm like, I could just be a role player in there, shutting down players and stuff like that. But I never had that kind of, I want to go and do this. I didn't really take steps to try and get to that. So I was just playing it out of love and just fun.
Fair enough.
How about you?
How about us?
Well, as a kid, you watch it on TV. I see you play, Jordan play. I think as for you guys as well, like I started with soccer really. Like soccer was like my first love. I was a soccer player, and then only until I think at the end of like primary school, that's when like I wasn't as good as the other players. It's like I don't know. I kind of got introduced to basketball because I was tall and stuff. Everyone's like, "You're so tall," so I started playing basketball. Yeah, I was pretty good at it, and of course, I wanted to make NBA. Strived for it, but eventually, just lost that motivation, lost the hunger, and just kind of stopped playing. But
But see, don't you love it to keep playing? Or
yeah.
what?
I mean,
you got to get back on the court at least. See, even me, I get injured. I'm like, I can't wait to get back on the court. But
Yeah, for me, I don't know why, but like, I love basketball. I played soccer as well. I think I just played it because all my brothers played it. They were all playing soccer, so I'm like, I'll play soccer as well. But
it's easy to play as well.
Yeah, soccer's pretty
you
easy.
don't need supplies or anything really.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's easy to be good. It's easy to just jump in and play. Like Whereas basketball, there's more rules to it. Like you got to learn those first before.
Yeah, true
you
that.
can even get into it. But
Yeah. With basketball, I was like, I just remember like being like 9 or 8 years old and being like, I'm gonna be the first woman in the NBA. Like I'm gonna be the first woman to play in the NBA. That's it. That's my dream. That's my goal.
Yeah.
People don't really, I don't know if they really know that about me, but that was like my goal for so long. And then my brother, not these ones, Jordan, was like, there's a WNBA, you can play in that one. I'm like, I did not know that. No.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But then, even then, once he told me that, I was still like, nah, I don't care. That's not good enough. Like, I'm gonna be in the NBA. Like, I'm gonna be the first woman in the NBA. So I've always really loved basketball and like wanted to really pursue that. And then I kind of went through like a bit of a hard time around the end of high school. Kind of lost that love and that passion for it and stopped playing for a bit. But then actually this year, I'd say, like, I started playing again like maybe 2 years ago, and I was like, yeah, this is fun. And I'm like, I'm just gonna play for fun. And then this year I went to Malaysia in May, and like it was just so different over there, like versing the teams. Like, they were all so professional, and we had like training every day, and like everyone on my team was like complaining like, oh, we got training. I'm like, we got training? Yeah, let's go. Like, I want to go to the court. Like, I want to train. I want to get my shots up. We got like strength and conditioning training, like all this stuff. I'm like, bro, this is amazing. Like, I want to be a basketball player again. Like, I love this. I love waking up and going to the court and getting my shots up and training. And, you know, it's hard sometimes. You know, fitness is, I think for me, it's like my hardest thing is like fitness and like my mind and my confidence. Those are the two things that like makes it hard for me. So I just got to push through with that. So I'm back in that basketball scene. Had trials today. It was fun. Yeah. Had trials on Thursday. Had trials on Sunday. Last Sunday.
Nice. And that's, you got to keep the momentum up, you know. That's how you keep your fitness. And then that's how you get better with your, like, shooting and things like that. But, that's good to hear.
Yeah, 100%. Well, speaking of, like, trials, I want to hear a bit about your rep experience. Reps in Sydney. Personally, for me, I don't, growing up, I kind of hated the rep system, and I was like, I don't need this. I'm just going to train and work on myself. My younger brother's played, I think he played for a season, or...
Yeah, I usually just played local comps, and I don't know, I never really got into the reps until I remember I had like an awesome game. Like, I don't know, I went off, scored like 20 and stuff, and I hit like a half court at the end, and I was hyped. And I remember some coach came to me, he's like, oh, you should come to the tryouts. So I showed up to the tryouts, and as soon as I walked in, because like I'm always a shy type of guy, stuff like that. So as soon as I walked in, I see so many people trying out, and they already had the jersey on from the team. So I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm making it. Like, they're already on the team. So I remember I went to the tryout, I did it, whatever. And when I came home, I'm like, I don't think I did too well. And I remember there was a second tryout, and then after the second one, they do callbacks. And then I just didn't even rock up to the second tryout. I'm like, yeah, there's no point. Like, what's the point? Until I remember, I think one of my teammates' mums, she said, yo, where was Tyler? Like, they want you back for the third trial. And I'm like, what? So, yeah, came back for a third trial, eventually made the team. I was originally a development player, actually. And by the first game, I was actually starting. So, to kind of make that progression, just shows you just got to have faith in yourself sometimes. Like, take the risk and maybe it can work out. But, yeah.
100%. My experience was, because I got into basketball late. Like, I'm pretty sure it was like 16. And then at that point, just street ball was really what I was into. And then I played local comp, and then it kind of progressed. Like, the people I was around were talking about trials, and they were going to trials. So really, because they went to trials, I went to trials. Like E-Man, Ray, Mo, and these guys all lived like, some of them, they lived like Double Chill and like out Marrickville ways. So they would like come to the Comets. I think I tried out for Bruins, but I didn't make it. So then I tried out for Comets, and I made it there. Or maybe the first year I tried out for Bruins, I didn't make it, and I didn't really care about reps. So it was like, all right, and keep playing. Like, I used to literally go to Central every Saturday and play there for like 4 hours, like street ball. Like, in literally, I'll play soccer at like 10 a.m., 12 p.m. Then I'll play basketball at 2 p.m. in Bankstown, and then I'll go catch a train to the city and street ball for like 4 hours. Like, it was crazy. I used to do that every Saturday. And then the next year after the one that I didn't make it, I ended up going to Comets because all these guys were going to Comets, and I made it to Div 1 18. So that was an interesting experience because it was like it was a high level, like it was like proper training, like literally Saturday 6 a.m. we had to be there at the court, you know what I mean? And for half of us, like me and the guys that I was with, that means we have to get up walk to the station, catch the train, get there. You know, a lot of the other kids there had their parents taking them and stuff. So, but yeah, so that literally like waking up at 4:30 to get there. You know what I mean? So, like, but that was a good experience. It was very like it felt like a professional experience. You know what I mean? The way that we kind of went about it. It was cool to kind of start there, and then after that, I went to youth league in Parramatta just because it was closer. And a whole bunch of other people that I hanged out with were over there as well. Played a few years there, and then I think by the time I got injured a couple times, my ankle, I was out for maybe 8 months or something, and then I injured my shoulder or something as well, and that kind of pulled me out a bit of the rotation, and then kind of fell out of reps, but still always I think played local. So, and I wasn't like chasing like I want to play reps. Like I didn't really care about playing ABA and stuff. Like youth league was easy to kind of get into and play and stuff like that, but ABA like it gets way more serious, and that wasn't really what I was trying to do. Like I wasn't trying to be that serious with it, so I don't think I even tried out for ABA or got to that point of it. But yeah, so I played for Comets and the Wildcats. So yeah,
It's crazy. I actually didn't know that you like didn't care about basketball that much.
Yeah.
Like I thought like all of us just wanted to make it.
yeah. And I think that was like really when I come back to it, like I was really good at soccer. Like I used to score from the corner. I used to do all these things. I got in, like I'll be just playing, and I'll get a letter that says you're invited to this special tryout or something. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I just didn't love soccer at all to even play it. 'Cause that's when I fell in love with basketball. But I never had those aspirations. Like I want to make it as a pro. You know. So yeah, it's interesting you didn't know, but I mean I never said it, did I? You know what I mean? So. But I was just always playing, so it might have looked like I was trying to do that. But yeah.
Fair enough. That kind of reminds me of
But
Jesse.
Jordan definitely was
Jordan,
like,
yeah.
he definitely was trying to get to a point for sure, and it even got to a point where he was at some random team in Queensland,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't know if this is the best team, like, because sometimes like a coach might be there, they're getting paid to be there and build a team, you know what I mean, and like they might be just saying stuff to make sure that they keep a good team. So they're saying, oh, I got these connects or this and that. So that's the part that you got to try and navigate. And that's why it's generally good to have someone like a parent or someone that's helping you navigate that side of it. Because there's a lot of people that take advantage of other people, you know, whether that's from money or just, like I said, just being in a team. Like he was living in a rural town in Queensland, not getting paid, and on the chance that maybe he'll go like here or there. And it's like, I don't know if that's right. Like, you know. If you're getting paid, different, you know what I mean? But yeah. And I think after I had that chat with him, I think that's when he started. I think he came back not long after and started still played basketball, but I think started like building his own business and working elsewhere and stuff too. So yeah.
I think that's another thing, like with the basketball, especially in Australia, it's the pathways to kind of make it like big and stuff. It's a lot different from America. Like America, you go for the AAU, you go for there, you get scouted. But here it's like, you really got to have the right connections, find the right people, and it's hard to try to like make it. Like
to go overseas, yeah, but not necessarily like it's the pathway to NBL. But there's just a lot of people that are in it. You know,
I feel like as well, there's a lot of politics and stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely politics. But if talent can override politics sometimes, but politics helps. Like that's why I say like your parents. Like a lot of the times, if someone's parents is making a relationship with the coaches and making sure, like sometimes about game time, like two players can be just as good, but because one has a better relationship with the coach, they get more game time. They get more time, chance to grow and get better as well. So, well, yeah, politics is a real thing for sure. But there's so many new organizations now in the last kind of 5 to 8 years that have created and they've been growing. Even they've been learning. Like I'm sure a lot of them, they come in with the intention they want to do something great, but it's not that easy to just do it straight away. You do have to kind of trial and error a few things and get better and bigger and build a reputation, which a lot of them are at that point where it's been a few years now and they've done that. So you're seeing good things from them and helping them. They're helping uplift people. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like as well now, like you just said, the last 5 to 8 years, or I don't know the time frame, but like now it's a lot more, not necessarily easier, but like people are looking at Australia now You know,
Yeah.
we've got the NBL one now.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got that pathway. You know, we've got those pathways to go into it. It just, before that, it was like all a bit harder. You know,
100%.
especially with the technology as well. You know, technology wasn't there. You know, I know.
You can record more. Like you've got now automatic recordings of games.
Yep,
and
put it up
stats
on
and
social
things.
media.
But yeah, I mean, you're seeing it directly, even with like, for instance, the South Sudanese players. You know, back in the day, 10 years ago, like we always knew that they were crazy, like with the skills and the talent. But in the NBL, if they were on there, they'll be on the bench and they won't even get any minutes, you know. But now today, a lot of them are getting minutes, and it's good to see, you know. And not even just them, like even outside of that, but they, as a community, they really like got the skills and the talent for it, and they were being held back a bit. But now their talent kind of has outweighed the politics in a way, you know. But there's also people working in those communities to help them rise as well, you know. And even right now, like you see Luol Deng helping to put together the South Sudanese team and them going to the Olympics and playing against USA and even almost beating USA in the trial. Like, that was crazy, man. Like, one shot. That shot just went in. Ooh, crazy. But, yeah.
I think it's exciting and also interesting as well to see the growth of the NBL. Like, I know when I was growing up, like NBL, it's like I never really watched it. I like laughed about like NBL. I don't care about NBL. But now it's like, even now I'm sometimes tuning into the games. I'm not gonna say I'm an avid watcher, but tuning in, it's a lot more exciting. And I think it's a legitimate pathway to kind of make it to NBA if you want to, especially with like LaMelo when he came here and played. Like, it gets more eyes on it, and
they're doing that on purpose, and they're trying to make it that. And you know, with the NBA or Next Stars, so a lot of people, instead of going college, they're coming to NBL now and things like that. So yeah, Europe basketball's coming up too, but the NBL are really creating a good, strong relationship with NBA and things like that to help it be kind of a pathway. That's why I was like, man, I wish they got Bronny. Like, Bronny here instead of college would have been crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, that would have been fun. That would have been something. Maybe I would have watched NBL then. I'm still not watching that.
You wouldn't watch NBL?
Just a hater.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't even watch that much NBA. I just watch my team, Miami Heat, for those that don't know. Very big Miami Heat fan. Excuse me. We're winning the champion. I'm gonna say it here too. We're going to win the championship this season. That's it. It's written in stone. We're winning. Yeah, very big Miami Heat fan. I just watch them pretty much. That's it. So, yeah. But I want to bring it back to the more personal side of things. I don't think we asked this question yet. But, like, how do you think sport in general, shaped you and, like, your morals or your beliefs? Or did it not even shape you? And it could be bad or good. Like, how was that?
Yeah, no, I think it definitely instills things within you, like from teamwork to like, you know, just being able to, like from the drills and things like that. But yeah, I think teamwork is really the main thing, like being able to gel in a team, have a role in a team, and things like that, and even travel as a team. I think I was blessed to travel, like you said, like Malaysia, you know, those trips, they're trips that you'll remember forever. Like all the memories, you know, like we did a few trips to Melbourne, even the school, cause I went to a Christian school. When we verse teams, sometimes we'll verse like a team like Bega, you know what I mean? So travel all the way to Bega just to play, you know, and things like that. And then other things, like we went to America to play as well. That was like crazy memories there too. But yeah, I think that, and then just even knowing that we can make something of ourselves, like people that I've played with or against have been able to go on and make something of themselves. So always knowing and having that memory of when I played with them or against them and seeing where they are now is always good to know. All right, that's like, you know, they came from where I came from. That means anything's possible, you know. So like I said, like Jonah was in the NBA. He played with Jordan. You know what I mean? It's like, as much as that's like, it would be cool if Jordan was there too, that's also like, that's inspirational to see that someone from where we were made it, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Fair enough. Like that. You got any other questions?
Trying to think, drawing a blank at the moment.
I'll just take it back to, I guess, maybe childhood and teen, like your journey of like going into the music industry? Like you said, you saw those DJs and like being around our cousins was what really got you into that like music industry. But can you go like a little bit more detail about like how like it started, like the steps and all that?
Yeah, so basically, coming out of high school, there was a level of like, in high school, I came across like things like MySpace and Bebo and social media, and it was like I said, I was a quiet kid growing up. Like, I was just a kid kind of to the side, except when it came to sports. So, I think I was able to kind of start to build an identity even through social media, of like just like being able to express myself differently, not in a way that I had to talk to people, in a way that I could like create a background of the music that I like or this and that, you know. So, but yeah, it started with Christian music, to be honest. Like, I was going to places like Hillsong and things like that, but I won an award at school for like being coming first in maths, and I got a voucher for a bookstore. So my mum took me to the bookstore in Bankstown, and I'm just like, man, I don't want a book. Like, I don't read books. Like, what am I gonna get? And I think I might have said that to the person working there or something, and she said, well, we got music here. Like, so they had all these CDs there, and there was a couple Christian hip hop CDs. When I got that, I was like, I really fell like in love with the music and like what it represented and stuff, and that really took me down a kind of lane of like finding more and more Christian music. And I used to even run a MySpace blog that just had all these Christian artists on it. So this was when I was like 16. I used to do that. I coded it so that like it comes and you click on them and it takes you to their page and things like that. So when I think back on it, I'm like, man, that's crazy that I was able to do that then. And I kind of learned it all myself too. Like, no one taught me. And that kind of flowed into like having a passion for showcasing artists. At the same time, my cousin's group K1, they were making some dope music, and I was like, man, I want everyone to hear this. How can I help? Like, so I was helping sell CDs. I remember I used to go basketball and sell the CDs there. They used to throw events and things, and then I helped them create their first MySpace. Like, they didn't even know about it. I created it for them, put their music on there. I'm like, hey guys, look at this. And I was the youngin', like they're all like 2, 3, 4 years older than me too. So they're like, oh, cool. And then, so that was kind of the start. And then just being always around them, I didn't really have another role to do. It was kind of like I was almost kind of managing to an extent or doing management pieces, but that's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to help. But eventually it turned into that they needed a DJ. Like, Divi was their DJ, and he taught me how to DJ. And he wasn't always available, so I ended up becoming their DJ, and then it kind of flowed from there. I started DJing for different artists, from them to then I DJed for Miracle and Manu. And being around the artists for so long, I realized they needed management. So that's when I started to actually take that serious and start to get involved in that side of things. And then pretty much as a music manager or being a manager of someone, like, you got to help with finance, strategy, marketing, booking, with so many aspects of the business world. So you pretty much learn all of that, you know, and then that's the skills that I take with me to everything else that I'm doing too. So yeah, that's kind of more in detail.
Love that. Love that in detail.
Yeah.
Just to kind of delve into like your mindset, because I experienced it firsthand when I was younger. Like, you would always have hella CDs, just giving it away to people, like, to kind of, you know, market. How did you like manage?
Probably made you help me hand out CDs or what?
Yeah.
A couple times. Yeah. How did you manage to like kind of stay committed to it? Because like, obviously when you're trying to just start out, it's not just all gonna come instantly.
Yeah,
like,
it's a grind for sure. It's all passion, like.
Just jumping on that as well, because you said you're shy as well. So like, how do you like kind of come out of your shell as well to like actually physically go and like give it to them?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's easier to like sell someone else than yourself. If I was giving my own music, it might be like, but it's easier to say like, yo, this guy's dope. You know what I mean? Than saying, yo, I'm dope. You know what I mean? So I think that was kind of a cheat code that I had. And then it was just passion, man. Like, I just believed in it so much. And to be honest, like they were making crazy music. Like the quality of level they're making is crazy. So that's how much I believed in it, and I wanted people to hear it. And then the shyness as well, knowing that if they did play it, they would most likely like it, was like the confidence that I had in it. You know what I mean? Especially because where we'd hand CDs out, for instance, like we'd go to a Drake concert because Drake makes a certain type of music and it's similar to the music that we like. We know that if you like Drake, you're gonna like this type thing. So it's like that's the confidence that we had, you know. And back then, like no one was getting kind of free CDs. So at the same time too, we're giving them a free CD too. So it's like it's almost like a gift, you know. Like it would be different if I'm trying to sell it to you on the spot and I don't know you. Like, yo, this is the dopest thing. Buy it for $5. That's a bit harder than like, yo, you're gonna like this. If you like Drake, you're gonna like this. Trust me. You got nothing to lose. Just play the first track. You'll see. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, which is I remember I took you out for flyers not long ago for the A Boogie event. I was trying to teach you how to like just encourage people to just, because it was dope. It's a dope event. They all go into an A Boogie concert, and we're like, there's an A Boogie basketball event tomorrow. All you got to do is pre-order the album, and you're there with A Boogie, and it's like all of them are fans of A Boogie, so it's not the hardest sell. You know what I mean? Like we're not putting ourselves in a position where we're like begging people. It's like realistically we're giving them the chance. If they take it, then they're gonna enjoy it. If they don't, it's their loss too. So yeah.
I like that. It's their loss.
Yeah.
Oh, anything else you've got? No? Oh.
Maybe more of a basic question, but what was the sort of music and like the artists that you kind of followed? Like who was your favorites when you were growing up and maybe even now?
Growing up, at first, like I didn't really follow artists as much. Like it was more just like whatever was on the radio and stuff like that. But I remember like Shaggy. Dad had a CD of Shaggy, so I used to listen to that album. Outside of that, growing up, just all the stuff that was on the radio, really. And then, like I said, but when I turned like 16 and was more on the internet and things, that's when I started to get deeper into music. And it was like Lecrae was a very big artist back then, like Christian artist who was like probably, I remember the CDs I bought, one was a mixtape that had a whole bunch of other artists. The other was a Lecrae CD. And that Lecrae CD was crazy. I'm just like, I've never heard music like this sound this good, and it's got a positive message. So that, and I took it back to my school, had everybody singing this lyrics, everything. I remember year 10 boys camp, man, we were all in the dorm, represent, get crunk, we were rapping the whole thing. It was crazy. But then obviously the local artists from K1 and stuff, I listened to a lot of R&B, and then now, what do I listen to? I'm back on like finding a lot of Christian music. Like I've been just stacking it up. I want to start like putting people onto it again. And obviously all the artists I work with as well, like from artists like Day One and stuff, local stuff. I'm not too deep into like listening heavy to music now, because I listen to music to discover it, but then I don't just keep listening to it. But recently Thames is crazy. She like, I'm like, this is dope. Brent Fires. There's so many artists, but I can just keep saying artists. But it's like I might listen to them for like a week, and then I won't listen to them for a while because there's so many different stuff out there, and I'm always finding it all. So
No mention of J. Cole.
And recently, he hasn't dropped much, but definitely J. Cole all the time. But I feel like he just finally dropped what he needed to drop ages ago. Like what he did through the rap beef when he said sorry on stage. He should have dropped the track within a week saying his side of the story, which he just kind of did like a couple weeks ago. He should have dropped that ages ago. He dropped a couple trash freestyle, like, what was the features on, like, man, that Cash Cobain one, like, what are you doing, bro?
Grippy or whatever?
Yeah, bro.
On,
and now he became a meme, bro, you know what I mean? Like, but the meme is just, like, from non-J. Cole fans, you know what I mean? It's the same with the KSI thing. Like, all the KSI hate is coming from people that aren't KSI fans. It's just like cool to hate, you know what I mean? But really, all the KSI fans love that song. It's getting streamed. They're listening to it, you know what I mean? But
I'm listening to it.
Yeah, I'm there. The games, and they're requesting it. Like, can you play it? Can you play it? So some people see just the hate, but the real fans, they love it, and they don't care about the hate. So yeah,
definitely. I think we'll start wrapping up soon. I just have a few more, or maybe two more things that I wanted to go through.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of touch on, like, we touched on your beginning, and you said a bit about, like, what you're doing now, but, like, just, yeah, as your sister, seeing, like, all the stuff you've done, like, you had your own radio station, and, like, you're always traveling everywhere. I don't even know doing what, like, managing or something. I don't know.
Out of nowhere, we get a message.
Yeah.
Yo, plans on Fridays. Like, I can't. I'm in Cambodia. It's like, what?
Yeah, like, what? Like,
Where
we're
did that
trying
come from?
we're trying to plan a family outing, and this guy's just everywhere, like, but not here. So, yeah, can you talk to us a bit about, like, all the stuff that, like, you're doing now and that you've done now? Like,
What we're doing now? So manage, kind of cut back on who I manage, and then just kind of focused in. So Mr. C is DJ personality, kind of pushing his stuff now. He does like the trolley sets and really pushing the YouTube right now, which is a big focus. And yeah, I guess longer form content, you know, because he killed the short form content, but it's almost like you come to a ceiling with that. So we're like, nah, let's engage people in a longer. Let's bring them into a world. So his stuff, and then Day One, Brisbane artist who lives in Sydney now, goes back and forth. So working with his stuff. Got the studio, which we're in now. So we've got a music studio, we've got podcast stuff, we've got editing, we've got office. So a bunch of stuff there. Just helping. This is just a place where creators can come and create, you know, whether you're a music artist or videographer or what it is. So yeah, working with that. Then we've got the marketing side of things where we work with a lot of different brands. Like, so you could see maybe like with Foot Locker, Shivers, we've done work with JD Sports. We even work with the sporting teams like Wanderers and Kings on certain different things and activations. Record labels from Warner to Sony. They come to us and we kind of help them with culture, like just tapping into two things, Western Sydney and multiculturalism. And then hip-hop culture. And now, in the last kind of year and a half, we've been doing basketball as well. So that's why really more of a focus on street ball. And like, because I feel like there's a gap there, and it's growing as well as much as all the other parts of basketball. So we're doing a bunch of street ball events. Like we said, with A Boogie, we did Cam Wilder, teamed up with like Breather and Park Takeover, and just, yeah, pushed that. And then, yeah. That's the gist, and then DJing, just like here and there. Like, I don't do as much DJing. Like, I don't do clubs all the time and stuff, more one-off parties and obviously the sporting events and stuff and concerts and festivals. So, yeah, that's kind of the things that are cooking right now.
that's good. It's good. I want to know, like, how'd the Foot Locker, I remember I was just scrolling Insta and I just see this Foot Locker ad. I'm like, that's my brother. Like, what the hell? Talking about, was it Lakemba or something? Oh, this is the area, the TNs or something like that. How'd that all come about?
Basically, they created a network of, what would you say, just maybe influencers or community leaders and just different people, like, and it's called the Foot Locker Fam. So basically, we work with them on a regular basis. They send product. We find ways that we want to speak about the product, and we find our vision for how we want to present it. So so the ideas come from us. Obviously, there's some campaigns that we do with them that it's all created by them, and we just feature in it. But then, yeah, so there's even a new one I'm literally working on now. It's probably going to drop maybe before this, or it's about... it's 50 years of Foot Locker. That's why I said it before. That's why I know, like, straight away. And they sent me some gold shoes and some gold stuff. So that's why I wanted the trophies, because I was like, all right, trophies, gold. Went to a trophy shop. We shot in the trophy store. And I used this trophy too. That's why I even knew so much about it too. Like, just shot with it the last week. So yeah, like, yeah, that's kind of how that come about. So yeah, there's gonna be a few more coming up, and yeah, just expressing myself with, like, sneakers is big. Like, I got so many sneakers, like, it's just natural to me. So, and then they got basketball sneakers or shoes that represent where we're from, and yeah, just kind of express ourselves with it. So you'll see other people like Mr. C's gonna be on. We'll see people like Talisha, JC. There's people from Melbourne, Brisbane. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like a big thing. Sneakers, like, you know, it makes me very proud because, you know, as kids, You know, every Christmas, every birthday, we're just getting a pair of sneakers, basketball, or just, you know, Nike, their Jordans, you know.
Yeah,
Always that would be his gift to us was sneakers. So
Oh, you didn't like him?
no, it was great. I loved that. I'm like, yes, I'm getting free shoes on my birthday. Let me
Free.
see
It's
what
a
these
gift,
are.
man.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a gift, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have to pay for it. So it's
Yeah,
free.
yeah. I had a hookup. It was always good because I had a hookup in the Nike factory.
Yeah, I
so
remember
Yeah.
that. That was the
you get
best.
some good discounts and that. Well, yeah.
And the last thing I kind of wanted to touch on was just family and work-life balance. Like, how do you balance that all with, like, the traveling and, like, just, being busy if you feel comfortable sharing?
Yeah, I think it all starts with like having a strong partner, and like my wife, she's amazing. You know, got a few kids, so she holds it down in terms of that, and she supports what I'm doing as well. So I think if she didn't support what I was doing, it'd be very hard. Just even to have her on board and to be helping. I think there's definitely places where I can be better, and there's visions of like, you know, if I do this and that, then I'll be able to do this. And sometimes that takes longer than what it should, but it starts with her support and stuff, and then just being dedicated to make sure, you know, like generally it's like if I'm not working or have a reason to be somewhere, I'd rather be home, you know what I mean? Like, and then vice versa, it's like, yeah, just knowing, all right, I want to be home by this time or that time. So I try and bundle things into a 9 to 5, which in the work that I'm doing, like, it's never that. But that's why, like, a lot of the guys around here and stuff will see, like, if I'm here in the day, I'm usually leaving by 5 p.m. to go home, have dinner, and be there. Maybe I'll come back later at night if there's something we have to do or whatever it is. And generally that's when everyone falls asleep. So I can't sleep until 2 a.m. anyway. So it's like in my head, I'm like, I'll be at home until 2 a.m. doing something or watching Netflix, whereas I can come and do a bit more stuff, you know. So yeah, that's kind of the balance.
Yep. What's that quote? Behind every successful man is a even more strong woman. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Love that. Do you have anything else you'd like to ask before we wrap up?
Not necessarily.
What does that mean? Not necessarily.
No.
No?
Professional.
Okay.
A professional answer.
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much to our first guest for this podcast. You know, it was a pleasure interviewing you. You know, seeing, obviously, we're your brother and your sister. It was good, like,
100%.
seeing
Well,
the
now
other
I came to
side.
see where you guys take it and the other guests you get on and stuff like that. And yeah, good luck. And you know, if you need anything, we're here to help. And hey, make sure you stream Basketball Culture, man. It's coming up, man.
Yeah,
You
but
gotta, yeah.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna say before we end, is there anything you want to shout out? Any, you know, socials, your artists, whatever you want.
I mean, generally, I talked about it. So yeah, just Director Zig on Instagram, TikTok, the Area Movement. Really resharing everything via those channels. So yeah, if you get onto there, you can find everything else. But yeah,
Amazing. Go follow, go subscribe. You know, you got us, Basketball Culture. We're on YouTube. I mean, we're going to try and get everything. TikTok, Instagram. This is the first episode. Oh, yeah, go find us, follow, subscribe, comment, like, you know, do all those things.
Share it to everyone, you know.
Yeah, share it to your friends, to your family, you know, get it out there. All right.